Barnaby's, shop till you drop. Episode 22, OSHA violation. Attention Barnaby's employees, the snake is in the grass. I repeat, the snake is in the grass. That is an announcement that no Barnaby's employee ever wants to hear. Why? Because that means OSHA is in the house, and Pat is freaking out, even though they haven't done a formal inspection in years. Hi, I'm Danny, I'm the lead stalker here at Barnaby's. I've been here for about 10 years now. I'm in charge of making sure the entire dry grocery load is broken down and loaded up onto U-boats. That's what we call the carts that hold the freight. Anyway, we separate the freight by aisle and position it on the U-boat according to its location within the aisle. After it's all broken down, each one of us takes our aisle's U-boat to the aisle and works it. We have 6 aisles, not including frozen food, dairy, or the HBA aisle, and 4 stockers, not including myself. I work aisles 2 and 4, which are the household cleaners, paper towel, toilet paper aisle, and the baking needs, box dinners aisle. Why do I work 2 aisles and the rest only work 1? Well, it's called leading by example. If I can work and finish 2 aisles, you certainly can work and finish 1. If you can't, you'll probably end up being a cashier, or a QA. I'm also in charge of doing all the piece counts. On average each aisle has about 200 to 250 cases per truckload. Now, Pat's standard is 45 cases per hour. However, if you want to work on my crew, you have to throw 60. I mean, if you can't throw a case a minute, or more, something's wrong with you. Most cases come 12 to a case or less, a couple come packed 24 to a case, but even 24 is doable in a minute, right? I gotta make sure all the back stock is put away, and that all the aisles, except frozen food, dairy, and HBA, are fronted and faced up. You know what that is, right? Anyway, my crew and I used to stock overnight, but after that whole attempted robbery thing. Now I'm not going to tell you that that's a different story, but it is. Anyway, after that, Pat decided to have us stock during the day for our safety. Luckily, we were all scheduled off the night/morning that happened. Oh yeah, I think I should mention that Danny is short for Danielle. You thought I was a guy, didn't you? Gotcha. I'm a girl. Well, woman. Anyway, when I was younger, I had big dreams of owning my own bar, but not the normal type of bar that sells beer and liquor. No. I wanted to own a bar that only sold wine coolers. They're refreshing, fun, and don't attract the violent asshole drunks that beer and liquor bars do. It would be a nice, calm, relaxing environment. I was going to call it Coolers. Seems fitting, right? But unfortunately, life had other plans for me, as my plan fell to the wayside, in lieu of motherhood, and other responsibilities. That's what I don't understand about these customers. They act like the employees wake up every morning, excited to come to work here, like it's our dream job or something. No, we don't, and no, it's not. I promise you, that no one that works here, or any other retail job, including myself, ever told their teacher, when they were in 2nd grade, when asked what do you want to be when you grow up, ever said, I want to work a retail job, and be treated like shit, and be verbally abused by people I don't even know, and be expected to be nice to some of the most ignorant, asinine people in the world, otherwise known as rude customers, all to earn that almighty dollar. We work these jobs, because we have to. We have to pay our bills. We have to provide for our families. We have to have the insurance offered by the company, for whatever reason. We don't have a choice. I'm sure some people that work these kind of jobs actually like their jobs. I like my job, but it's just not what I wanted to do with my life. Now, don't get me wrong, not all customers are rude. Some are really nice and treat you like a friend, but the majority of them see you, the employee, as a trained monkey programmed only to kiss their ass. Now, when I say treated like shit, I do not mean by Pat. He is a sweet caring man, that goes out of his way, to try and keep all his employees happy. He is a great boss. I was talking about the rude customers. Anyway, enough about my problems, thanks for letting me vent though. So, back to the story. Now, I'm pretty sure that you all know what OSHA is, and what they do, right? But, do you know what it stands for? For those of you that don't know, it stands for Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Now, it doesn't happen too often, but when we hear Daryl, or Ricky, or any other member of the Splat team, make that announcement, everyone starts scurrying around like roaches after you turn on a light switch. It's pretty hysterical to watch, although, like I said, no one from OSHA has conducted a formal inspection in quite a while. Now, let me tell you of the one and only time I ever saw anyone from OSHA actually inspect this place. We've had a few visits after, but now the inspector, it's always the same guy, just walks in, greets everyone with a smile and a wave, looks around a little bit, walks by obvious OSHA violations, ignores them, writes nothing down, finds Pat, hands him a completed checklist, tells him everything is good, and walks out, waving and smiling again. I'm pretty sure you can figure out why, but in case you can't, let me tell you something, like my good buddy Bill always says. No, I'm not sure how long ago it was, but it was around the time when those creepy greasy Italian guys were remodeling this place. No offense to any Italian people listening to this. Anyway, the whole interior and exterior of the store was finished, and they were working on building that little room off the back room. Pat had all the employees at the time, well, those who still wanted to work here, after that Carnival Ferris wheel disaster damaged the store. Again, I'm not gonna tell you that's you get the idea, right? Okay, moving on. Anyway, he had all the employees, except the cashiers, come in to restock the place, as the trucks were arriving almost one right after the other, loaded with product, and the grand reopening was scheduled to take place in about a week. Anyway, Stuart was pulling his hair out, trying to juggle all the deliveries, and trying to find space in the back room for all the pallets, as the construction was going on. There was really no point in having the cashiers here, as the store wasn't open for business yet. No, I was up front talking to Pat, and Mike, the grocery manager, about scheduling, when this guy walked in, dressed like Michael Douglas in that Falling Down movie, wearing a hard hat and glasses, carrying a clipboard. I guess one of the town folks filed a complaint. Anyway, I love that movie. When he's in the park, and those thugs approach him. Nah, I'm not going to ruin the movie for any of you that haven't seen it yet. So, anyway, I know what you're thinking, why was he wearing a hard hat at a grocery store? Well, you have to remember, this was at a time when the store was being remodeled, so technically, it was a construction site. Pat and all us employees didn't have to wear one, because we were all inside the store, where construction was already completed, not outside, where they were building the room. Anyway, the moment this guy walked in, Pat's face just dropped, and he turned white as a ghost. The guy walked up and said something along these lines. It's been a while, I don't remember the exact wording, but it went something like this. I'm looking for Patrick Barnaby. That's me, Pat said, nervously smiling, and sweating just a little. I'm Stephen Winters, with the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. I'm here to do an inspection of the property. Sure, absolutely. Where would you like to start? I'd like to start by viewing all your building permits. Oh, you'll have to speak to my business associates on that. They're the ones taking care of the renovations. Very well. Are they here? Yes, sir. They're right out back. Would you like to speak with them? The inspector then started to look around, shaking his head. Let's start in here first, he said coldly, and began walking toward the cash office. Pat followed, motioning nervously for us to join him. We did. He checked the cash office, both bathrooms, Bill's place, also known as the basement, and all the registers. He walked through the deli and the bakery, through produce and their prep room, through the meat department and their prep room, up and down each aisle, under each set of shelves, on top of each set of shelves, through dairy and frozen. Through the entire back room, including the coolers and freezers, the break room, the training room, the mop room, the HBA room, Pat's office, both loading docks, and the roof. Did I miss anywhere? God, I hope not. Wait, I did. He also checked Winston's surveillance room, or watchtower, as he likes to call it. That guy checked everything. It took almost 3 hours. He found all kinds of violations. Exposed wires, unsecured outlets, fallen kick plates, a clogged drain in the deli, pallets standing on end, ladders not secure, cooler doors unhinged, a broken chain on the baler, open box cutters laying around, and a whole lot more. He had 3 whole pages, front and back, of violations. And then he went to inspect the little room that they were building off the back of the store. The guy didn't even knock, he just opened the door, and walked in. Now, as you already know, they were in the process of building the room. I don't know much about construction or carpentry, but I'll do my best to describe what we saw. The floor had been completed, but the rest of it was not. There were several 2x4s erected vertically, about 15 inches apart, on the left, the right, and straight ahead of us, with 4 large 4x4s on each corner, and a door frame in the direct center of what would be the far wall. Multiple men on ladders, none of them wearing hard hats, were nailing in a large piece of wood horizontally across the top of the 2x4s, on each side. A large continuously running table saw sat to the left, some sort of generator sat to the right, and a large black limousine sat in the middle of the field behind the store, in the grass, straight ahead. Various wires and power tools scattered the floor. Construction sounds could be heard before the guy even opened the door. Anyway, he opened the door, and was immediately met by that humongous mountain-looking guy with no neck. I'm not sure, but I think his name was Mario. He was standing just inside the door, on the newly constructed wooden floor. Anyway, the inspector guy just ran right into him, causing the clipboard that he was carrying to bounce off of Mario's stomach, and slam back hard into the guy's face, knocking his glasses clean off. That's not good, I thought. Who are you? Mario said, in a heavy Italian accent. I never knew he could talk before that. Anyway, the guy bent over, and began fumbling for his glasses, found them, and put them back on his face, as Mario towered over him. As he stood up, he began to say, I'm Stephen Winters, with the occupational. Don't care. You don't belong here, Mario said loud with purpose. Pat, Mike, and I just stood in the doorway. Mario, where's your manners? Let our friend in, one of the creepy Italian guys said from behind Mario, in that same heavy Italian accent. Mario then stepped aside. The inspector, in total awe of Mario's size, evidently, nervously walked past him, looking at him, not looking where he was going, and almost ran into the shorter of the two Italian guys. Hey, yo. I'm standing here. You should pay attention more. Accidents can happen anywhere. Ain't that right, Gino? The short Italian guy said, with a mouthful of cannoli, backhand slapping the taller Italian guy on the arm. Yeah, Polly. Anywhere, Gino responded menacingly. Now, how can we help you? Would you like a cannoli? Polly asked. No. I don't take bribes, the inspector said. What bribe? I was just being nice, Polly responded laughing. I'm Stephen Winters, with the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, the guy said, trying to sound official, but you could hear the nervousness in his voice. Oh yeah. I heard of you guys, OSHA. Right? Yeah. You guys tried to shut down one of our operations in Jersey last year. You remember that, Gino? Polly asked, swallowing the cannoli, then taking another bite. Yeah, Gino responded. That wasn't me. Are you two Mr. Barnaby's business associates? The inspector asked nervously. Yeah, Polly answered. Is there a problem? Pieces of cannoli falling from his lips. Oh, excuse me. I'm such a slob. Mama said never talk with your mouth full. He then swallowed what was in his mouth, tossed the cannoli away, cleaned his hands by wiping them together, and asked again, is there a problem? I need to see, all your building permits, and there are some issues, a lot of issues, that must be addressed before I can sign off on this, the guy said nervously. Permits. We don't need no stinking permits, and I don't recall no issues. Do you, Gino? No. As this was going on, the workers continued with what they were doing. And none of these men are wearing hard hats, and neither are the three of you, and that saw is running on its own, with no safety guard. That's even more violations, the inspector said nervously, but still trying to hold his ground. Come here. Let me talk to you, Polly said, raising his left arm, and stepping toward the guy, whose eyes grew wide with fear, as he instinctively began stepping backwards, once again, without looking, as Polly advanced toward him. He backed all the way to the edge of the floor. I screamed, look out, but it was too late. The inspector's foot landed on air, causing him to fall back against one of the ladders, and fall to the ground. The ladder began falling as well. The other guys on the other ladders quickly climbed down, and ran off into the field. Why? I don't know. I ain't paying you sons of bitches, Polly yelled out. The guy on the first ladder attempted to jump, but I guess his feet slipped or something, because when he jumped, his feet flew behind him, and he was positioned horizontally in the air, parallel with the ground. Now, what happened next is like something out of one of the Saw movies. The key word there is Saw. Now brace yourselves. The guy on the ladder, that just slipped, and fell horizontally, landed face first on the rotating saw blade, which sent him soaring forward, slicing him from his face, all the way through his, man area. He landed about 20 feet on the other side of the saw, face up, or what was left of his face, up. He looked like a human hot dog roll, with sausage, peppers, onions, and sauce on it. Hey, that sounds pretty good. I think I'll make that for dinner tonight. Anyway, blood and internal organs were splattered everywhere. On the grass, on the 2x4s, on the floor, and even on the limousine. I vomited right there on the newly finished floor, and so did Mario. Pat and Mike just stood there. The Italian guys acted like it was just another day at the office. I guess a few stray dogs that hang out in the neighboring housing development smelled the blood. A pack of about 5 of them came running over, and began licking the blood, and chewing on the dead guy's organs. Hey, hey, get out of here, you mangy mutts. Have some respect, Polly yelled at the dogs, and threw a cannoli at them. All the dogs scattered and ran away, except one, a German shepherd, who grabbed the cannoli, ate it, then sat there, waiting for more. Right after the other dogs ran away, the inspector guy stood up, saw, no pun intended, what carnage he caused, and vomited in the grass, then fainted. Amateurs, Polly said, shaking his head. Gino, get me some smelling salts from the limo, will you? Right away, Polly, Gino responded, then ran to the limo, got the smelling salts, and came back. He handed them to Polly. Thank you, he said. You three enjoying the show? He asked us. Pat and Mike said nothing. I, on the other hand, said, absolutely, not intimidated by them at all. Just stay out of the way, he said. He then opened the smelling salts, bent down, and began waving the salts under the inspector's nose, smacking him, as soft as a hardened Italian could, in the face. Hey, wake up, will you, he said, as Gino and Mario stood on either side, staring down at him. After a few seconds, the inspector came to. Mario, Gino, help him up, Polly said. He then grabbed an empty 5-gallon bucket, flipped it over, and sat it on the floor. Put him right here, he instructed. Gino and Mario did as they were asked. The inspector just sat there, obviously in shock. The dog ran over and sat by Polly. Gino, get this pup a cannoli, will you? I'm busy here, Polly said. Gino did as he was asked. Last one, Polly, Gino said. What's the matter with you? Feed the dog already. Here dog, Gino said, holding the cannoli out for him. The dog ran over, took the cannoli from Gino, ate it, barked, then sat down again. You're welcome, Polly said to the dog. I like that dog. He's got manners. I'm keeping him. I think I'll call him OSHA, he said laughing. Gino and Mario laughed as well. I just snickered. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, you, Polly said. He then looked at the inspector, whose head was hanging down at this point. Hey, look at me, Polly said, slapping him on the knee. The inspector looked at him. Well, my friend, it seems like you have the biggest issue of all today. The way I see it, is you have one of two choices here. 1. My associate Patrick there, contacts the authorities, explains to them what happened, and who is responsible. That would be you. An investigation would be conducted, and most likely, not only would you lose your job, your wife will divorce you, and your kids will hate you, but you will probably go to prison, for involuntary manslaughter. What's the penalty for that, Gino? Polly said. Up to 8, Polly, Gino answered. Up to 8 years in prison. That's a long time. I don't think you'll make it. He then adjusted the inspector's tie. Or 2. You give this place a clean bill of health, indefinitely, my associates and I clean up the mess, and dispose of the body, do not contact the authorities, and we all pretend like this whole unfortunate incident never happened. What do you say there, Stevie boy? Well, I guess you figured out what his choice was, right? Now, Mario and the two brothers did hold up their end of the bargain, by cleaning up the mess, and getting rid of the body. Polly told the three of us to leave, after the inspector made his decision and left, telling us that we were part of the arrangement, and that we better keep our mouths shut. We did, well, until now. Now, I don't know what they did with the body, and I don't want to know. Let's just say, that there was a concrete slab in the middle of the field, where there hadn't been one before, and leave it at that. Pat built his little workshop, that he uses every Christmas, on top of the slab. I never found out the dead guy's name, but I hope he's in a better place. May he rest in peace. As you know, the two Italian guys and Mario were caught by the police the day of the grand reopening. No one has seen them since. That's why I feel comfortable enough to tell you what happened. I hope OSHA's okay though. Well, my hubby's about to get off work. I'm married to Jim in the meat room, in case you want to know. We've got 3 kids, all future Barnaby's employees I'm sure. I'm in the break room right now, waiting for him to get off. Shit. I gotta go pick up some hot dog rolls, some spaghetti sauce, sausage peppers and onions for dinner tonight. I almost forgot about that. And when I get home, I'm gonna pop the top on one of my wine coolers. Seagram's is the best. I'll have one for you. I think I'm going to relax on the couch with Jim, and maybe watch a couple of those Saw movies. Anyway, time to shop till I drop, y'all. Have a great day everyone.